Suddenly, a coronary artery blocks. The flow of blood to the heart stops. The heart starts to beat wildly. There are now only moments left to save the victim's life.
27, 28, 29, 30.
And if that attempt fails, starved of oxygen, the heart dies. And so does the victim. The team here don't want to wait until somebody has a heart attack and rely on expensive and risky surgery to save them. They want to prevent the attack happening at all.
Why wouldn't it make sense if we set up like we do mammograms for screening for breast cancer? Why don't we do mammograms of the heart?
You know, it was considered pretty far out at the time.
Look, what are your alternatives? You say to a person, well, you're at low risk, and then if the patient dies, oh, I was wrong, sorry. Why guess? Why base your decision on a score derived from a compilation of risk factors when you can look directly at the heart and see how much plaque there is there?
But the medical establishment shun it.
No one's been able to show that knowing how much calcium is in the arteries actually allows you to change the outcome for patients. So it tells you who's at risk, but it doesn't tell you what to do for them.
I would say that there are some people who still believe the world is flat, but clearly it's not. We know that it identifies high-risk patients. We know that treating high-risk patients saves lives. Therefore, identification of the high-risk patient will save lives. The kind of outcome data that they're asking for has not been provided for any other technology. For instance, there's never been a study that shows that the use of a stress test saves lives, or the use of an echocardiogram saves lives. I called it the deadly double standard, which means applying criteria to coronary calcium that have simply not been applied to any other preceding technology.
But many people are asking, how could a former president who gets regular checkups end up so suddenly with heart disease?
He told this story about how he went through 5 treadmills while in office. He was cleared 5 times, told he was doing great, and he actually told me he had a calcium scan. That was abnormal, but his doctors didn't really do anything with it, and ultimately he needed 5-way bypass.
Such is the shock of Clinton's operation. The White House decides that all future presidents will have a coronary artery calcium scan. The stakes are simply too high not to. From 2006 on, all potential astronauts have to have a 0 score or they don't get in.
The system is not set up to reward prevention. The system is set up so that doctors are well compensated for treating conditions. So are pharmaceutical companies. We mainly have a disease industry in this country. They don't want them to die, but they don't necessarily want them to get better.